Some of you probably clicked on this video thinking, he's crazy, but I'm not. We just weren't paying attention. All of these graphics and information is taken straight from Titleist.com. But be warned, it's confusing. But here we go. Between the Prov1 and the Prov1X, the Prov1X spins more and flies higher. The Prov1 spins less and flies lower. The Prov1X is a higher compression ball. It just doesn't react that way anymore. You see, in 2017, Titleist quietly swapped the two balls. But most golfers don't read boxes or scour through the Titleist website. This is Titleist's base graphic comparing the two balls. But at a quick glance, this would lead you to believe that the only difference is in the height and the feel. But Titleist's website has much more information, which says basically that the Prov1X spins more from tee to green, and it flies much higher and much more floaty from tee to green. Reading more in the write-up, it says that the Prov1 flies lower, spins less into greens, provides a piercing ball flight instead of a floaty ball flight, and is especially better in the wind. This portion of the website is the most problematic for golfers. It states that the balls are fairly close in short game play, but as it gets longer, the Prov1X gets considerably more spin. This is completely backwards of where it used to be, which is really confusing people. Somewhere in all this madness, Titleist decided to start producing the balls that only the pros could buy. So they added these balls, the left dash and the left dot, into the lineups. These are variations from the Prov1 and the Prov1X, but adding them made it much more complicated and confusing. So the left dash spins less, feels a little more firmer, and has a similar flight to the V1X, which means it is more spinny than the Prov1. Now the left dot takes a little spin off the Prov1 and still feels soft, but that makes it the least spinny of the Prov1s. I realize this might be getting complicated, so here's a basic ball chart that just shows you spin, ball flight height, and the firmness from left to right. Some of you may be wondering why I made this video. I'm making it because everybody seems to be confused. Most of the people I'm teaching are using the wrong ball, and this is why. Because Titleist never made a simple graphic like this so that people could really understand where the balls fall in the spectrum. If you're a little confused, don't worry, because even the employees at Titleist are. So, yeah, they've made a mess. For example, here was a question asking where the AVX fit into the list. The Titleist employee answered wrong, and then a random forum member had to straighten him out, because it's confusing, right? It's actually, in my opinion, counterintuitive to have a ball that feels firmer be the spinnier, higher flying ball. It really makes no sense, but I digress. The real problem here is Titleist cashes in on that Prov1 name, and so they just keep adding balls to the lineup. It's gotten very confusing. I get asked questions about hardness of balls and see multiple posts like this a day. And I used to try to correct them, and then I became the bad guy. So instead, I decided just to copy and paste all the information here and make this video for you. So let's recap. If you have high swing speeds and struggle with spin, you want a Prov1, not a Prov1X. And if you want to push it just a little lower spin and lower ball flight, you want the left dot. If you need more spin and more height on your ball, you want a Prov1X, not a Prov. And if you switch to the Prov1X and you find it has too much spin, you can go to the left dash and meet somewhere in the middle. I made this video because my next video is probably going to be about which golf ball I suggest most golfers play and why. But I wanted to make sure people understood how the Prov1X line and the Prov1 line compare, or I'm going to really be confusing people. So that's it. If you like this video, drop it a like, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe, press, and send.